Wait, this is the Shimon comment responsible for these videos. Anyway, video number 11, Shadows in My Room. Playlist Childhood, 5th video on that playlist, released on October 12, 2021. Original notes were that I made a mistake in the childhood video, that the room here is very similar to the one in childhood, which I pointed out in my last video. Ain't that fun? The original interpretation is that I'm not sure what it means. Perhaps it means that Nia's trauma will always be with her, like a shadow following her. Always visible, but always lurking. Really, the only thing to add is that the second shadow's eyes look kind of like they do in the more recent videos when brainwashing is implied, you know, the giant pupils. Video number 12, Angel, the playlist Insanity, the third video in that playlist, released on October 26, 2021. This video confirms that Nia does in fact die, but is also revived. It means that this has happened before, taking the title into consideration. This is the second of 2 times we see Nia as an angel. She's being sustained alive, but what caused her to be in this state is unknown. If we take into consideration that this hospital is for the mentally unwell, it may be due to a self-inflicted head injury, or it may be a side effect or even the intended result of the drug given to an angel. Whatever she is here for, she must be in a state where she may be considered a danger to herself or others, or may attempt to escape as she is being restrained to the bed. Original interpretation is that this is the result of one of the 2 things mentioned before, self-inflicted head injury or as a result of drug given an angel. Restraints may be standard procedure, but there's still something to take into account. So what's new? This video is right after Angel on the playlist, so it might be that either the green didn't help or it made her go crazy and hit her head. It is implied that the syringes could be potentially deadly in run, so it might be that she needed to be revived after an adverse reaction. The again and the title might imply that. This isn't a repetition of Angel, but a repetition of I woke up in a strange place, because she just woke up in a strange place again. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing either. Video number 13, Trick or Treat. This video is not on a playlist, it is the 5th video not on a playlist. What was the 4th, is now the 5th. Released on October 3rd, 2021. The original notes for that this is the only time we see Nia in a robe similar to that of Shadow if we do not count the rain jacket she wears in Hunger. Spider webs and spiders are strangely prevalent, could reflect what Shadow is and how he treats his victim. And did I mention I made a mistake on Surprise that this is not the only time, but it is one of 2 times we see Shadow injures Nia without the spikes on her shoulders. I've started to notice a pattern of eyes being important symbols. What they mean is unknown. The original interpretation is that it's just a Halloween special, but if there's meaning, it's that Nia wearing the robe similar to the Shadow and the problems of spiders could imply that Nia looked up to Shadow when she was trapped in the web created by Shadow. And, there's nothing to add. I still think these things. It's either just a Halloween special or if there's any meaning, it's that exact meaning still. Video number 14, Toes. It is not a playlist, it is now the 6th video not a playlist. It was released on November 8, 2021. The original notes are that this is the only time we see Nia in these clothes or this room. The original interpretation is that basically there's nothing. If we ever see these elements before, they'll be important probably. But now, in this new interpretation, I have something to add. Nia has toes. But seriously, this outfit looks like the straitjacket we sometimes see, and do you know how there's a freaking symbol of a blade coming out of the ground? It probably means nothing, but it might also be a precursor to some of these elements that inspired IC to use them later on. Video number 15, I woke up in a strange place. Playlist Insanity, first video in that playlist, released on November 11th, 2021. The original notes are that here we see Nia in a situation that's exactly in how it is in again, and according to the playlist, it happens before it. Interestingly, Nia has bandages over her mouth for an unknown reason. The title tells us that Nia does not know why or how she's here. Original interpretations is likely the first time Nia was put in the hospital. Whatever reason she was put in, she's unaware of it. This proceeds again, meaning that again it may refer to death or being simply tied to the bed. And from its position, the playlist, I'm pretty sure this video is when Nia was first taken to a hospital against her will. Video 16, Eyeless Jack. Playlist Creepypasta. The 5th video on the playlist, released on November 12th, 2021. Original notes, not much. Jack takes off his mask near the end. The order in the videos of playlist has been interesting. Original interpretation is that there's probably nothing much of substance, it's just an admission of the honor story. It makes sense that they're making this Spanish horror. New interpretations that, again, doesn't mean much, but it's possible since many of these videos are being released in really close succession that these creepypasta videos were being released as filler while IC worked on the later videos. Video number 17, Slenderman, in the playlist Creepypasta, the 6th video in the playlist. Released on December 3rd, 2021. Original notes were, again, that there's not much. Slenderman's feet resemble Pixie dress. This is also the first time we see Nia in this dress. For interpretation is that there's nothing to really get. There's nothing in the new interpretation other than the fact that this video's animation is lower quality than the first video on the channel, meaning it's actually older, it's seemingly the oldest video on the channel, it's pretty cool. Video 18, Bathroom, in the playlist Nightmare, the 4th video in the playlist, released December 5th, 2021. There's an notice that Nia returns to striped clothing. If this means anything is unknown. Nothing seems to be hidden in the moment that the light goes out. Some of the vein-like lines with the dead person to the right of on the left of the screen mildly resemble hands. This is also the first time we see another person in Nightmare. There is no ball in the stall to the left, Nia, or to the right of the screen, where Shadow is just looking over. There's interpretations that this continues the idea that air is water, and only bathrooms are associated with trauma. It's possible that whatever happened occurred in the bathroom. We'll explain why. Which would explain both the lack of toilet bowl, perhaps representing the perpetrator's excuse to follow her, and the dead person, perhaps a representation of the actual event, or since Nia knows that there's someone in there. Or since Nia goes over to the stall and can tell that it's occupied, it likely represents that the other person is pretty much dead to her, that they did nothing while she was being taken advantage of. There's nothing to add in this video. Video 19, Tooth Fairy, in the playlist Childhood, the 4th video in that playlist, released December 14, 2021. We see Nia again in the white dress, and this is chronologically the last video where she's in this dress. Near the video's end, we see a strange humanoid figure with small wings and a top hat, possibly the Tooth Fairy. We've yet to see this figure appear again. Virtual interpretations, like the majority of videos in Shadow, its meaning is elusive, and I don't have an interpretation. It might just be a fear or a hallucination. We don't know. I don't have anything to add. Video 20, The Portraits, in Creepypasta, the 4th video in that playlist, released on December 26, 2021. Original notes were that, compared to the original, the only significant difference is that the main character is now Nia instead of a hunter, though I doubt this has significance. This video seems to suggest that the black dress is actually a robe or a coat. The top window of the house seems to resemble a cross, though this might just be coincidence. Original interpretations, that's just an anime depiction of creepypasta. The black dress details are interesting. Again, there's nothing new to add, other than some of those faces or references. And that's all for this video. Another 10 videos gone just like that.